Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is LL3's latest podcast. My name is Craig, and today is New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2013, the last day of the year. Yeah, it's like, right now it's early in the morning in the swampy mangroves of South Florida. My name is Craig, and today I'll be doing a topic or two. And the first one is from judicialwatch.org. It's entitled, Federal Appeals Court, Saudi Arabia Defendant in 9/11 Suit. So let's begin. A federal appeals court has delivered yet another blow to the U.S. government effort to cover up a Saudi connection in the 2001 terrorist attacks, ruling that the Arab nation can be a defendant in the lawsuit filed by thousands of 9/11 victims and their families. Issued this month by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, the decision involved a high-profile case filed a decade ago by 9/11 victims who claimed Saudi Arabia financed al-Qaeda before the attacks on the World Trade Center and Pentagon. A federal judge in New York decided that, as a foreign state, Saudi Arabia was immune and could not be named as a defendant under the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. This spreaded the possibility of having to dole out billions in civil damages. Citing an error of law, the appellate court restored the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as a defendant, including the Saudi High Commission for Relief of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a government agency that 9/11 survivors claim delivered tens of millions of dollars to terrorists worldwide. There are exceptions to the foreign state immunity, the appeals court writes in its decision, including a terrorism exception. The rulings comes on the heels of damaging information revealed by a pair of legislators, one Republican, one Democrat, who recently viewed a redacted chunk of a congressional report that confirms foreign state involvement in the 9/11 attacks. The suspiciously redacted pages of Congress's 9/11 report left the lawmakers, North Carolina Republican Congressman Walter Jones and Massachusetts Democrat Stephen Lynch, absolutely shocked at the level of foreign involvement in the plot. Americans have been told that al-Qaeda acted alone on September 11, 2001, and there were no official state sponsors. In fact, the George W. Bush administration blacked out dozens of pages in the Congressional Investigative Report on 9/11 that dealt with specific sources of foreign support for the 19 hijackers, most of them who were Saudi nationals. Those are the pages that we were recently viewed by Congressman Jones and Lynch. Judicial Watch has investigated the 9/11 Saudi connection and years ago obtained shocking documents from the FBI detailing how well connected Saudis, including relatives of Osama bin Laden, left the U.S. on specially chartered flights, while most air traffic was still grounded. In all, 160 subjects of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including but not limited to members of the House of Saud and or members of the bin Laden family, fled the U.S. between September 11, 2001 and September 15, 2001. The records uncovered by JW show that two prominent Saudi families that fled the U.S. following 9/11 got personal airport escorts from the FBI, and that authorities let other Saudis leave the country without first interviewing them. The secret Saudi flights left from Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and other major U.S. cities. An unidentified prince in Las Vegas even thanked the FBI for his assistance, according to one internal report obtained by JW. Incredibly, the FBI returned to the Las Vegas hotels with subpoenas days after the Saudi flights departed to gather information on the royal guests, the record shows. Read more about this in the JW's New York Times bestseller, Corruption Chronicles. Besides the secret Saudi flight, Judicial Watch has ongoing investigation related to a sophisticated 9/11 plot. Earlier this year, JW obtained documents from the FBI showing strong ties between Anwar al-Awlaki, the U.S.-born terrorist assassinated in 2001 by a drone in Yemen, and two 9/11 hijackers who attacked the Pentagon. In the documents, the FBI describes al-Awlaki as the spiritual leader of the hijackers. Yeah, just to let you know, I will put this on my Spreaker page. Change the subject, and there's blue coloring fonts that represents the links. You'd be surprised, my friends. It's getting open more by the day. I always believed what happened on that horrific day was a lot bigger than what it is. They try to say it's only Al-Qaeda. And I'm like, give me a break. Because I do remember looking at, later on, I was looking at some of the executive orders which Governor, at the time, Florida Governor Jeb Bush signed on September 7, 2001, which was 2001-261. And the executive order, pretty interesting, had a National Guard set up to hit the airports, seaports, anything that's like, heavy commute locations. And it was supposed to last for, quote, 3 years, unquote. Then, so when September 11th hit, on the same year, he signed another executive order, 2001-262, made it more indefinite, and added more detail, including to seizing property and, quote, compensate you later, unquote. And it was supposed to be indefinite. However, it did get lifted after, till July 1st, 2002. But if you go look that up, even in the archives, the Florida archives, under executive orders or myflorida.com, it's been deleted. However, there's some sites, just engine search it, executive order 2001-262. You have some links they actually pasted on there, but you can't really go to the actual site because they have deleted it. So it's very interesting. And I have mine printed up, kept it, so I have it some storage bin. So one day I might have to just dig it out if I can. So it's an interesting. It's bigger than what it is, which I'm not too surprised. And in good faith, always observe the events on 9/11/2001, a New World Order agenda, and not afraid to recant it. So, which I won't do. So, at least it's, at least one thing for sure is that things are opening up, and hopefully justice will be done. Even though the families, the victims that may not be around, are not around anymore, God bless their souls, but the truth need to be known. You can't hide it. A lot of us are seeing it, and their day will come. All right, and another one, which is pretty cool, by the way, from Off the Grid News. It's on the same day, the 30th, 2013, written by Pat B. And this was entitled 4 Ways Animals Can Warn of Approaching Danger. And it's mainly about animal behaviors and instincts, which every human being on Earth should have the knowledge on observing the environment, or including the animals, because even Sun Tzu talks about that as well in his book, The Art of War. About, if there's the enemies are there, if you see the birds scattering, all that. However, I will narrate this article as well. So let's check it out. Alright, thanks. Okay, the title, 4 Ways Animals Can Warn of Approaching Danger. Animal behavior can give you some serious clues about changes in the weather and even about danger. Activity patterns shift in anticipation of coming storms, and the magnitude of the shifts can tell you something about what the animals are thinking about the length and severity of the weather. We all know that animal behavior changes with the seasons. Certain creatures hibernate and are absent through the river. Some creatures migrate, and these patterns can tell us a lot about timing of seasonal changes. If the winter or spring is coming early, animals know it before meteorologists do, and they time their activities accordingly. But they also know about the smaller changes with the seasons, such as coming storms and unreasonable warm-ups. The key to recognizing changes in behavior, however, is to recognize the normal patterns, so you are going to have to get yourself out in the woods in order to learn the norms and note the changes. These things are hard to teach and are best suited to experiential learning. You might have to force yourself to pick up a squirrel rifle from time to time and get out in the woods to hear what the wildlife wants to tell you. In general, watch migratory birds for clues to the timing of the seasons. If birds show up or leave early for the winter, hold on. If birds return early for spring, spring is coming early. Keeping a few bird feeders will allow you to more easily monitor this and to track daily activities, patterns for clues to more short-term weather trends. Watch the foraging patterns of squirrels and chipmunks for clues to both long and short-term winter weather trends. Animals are also great indicators of approaching danger. The big thing to remember is that as far as the critters are concerned, you are approaching danger. Remember, all those movies were the point man raises his hand and then clenches his fist to get everyone behind him to stop. Immediately, some forest or jungle creature does something to let him know that the bad guys are crouched behind that bush in ambush. It seldom works that way in the real woods. The trouble is, all the critters in your immediate area are on alert for you. To get a good read on the critters around you, you're going to have to stop and stand still and blend in until they forget you are there. This can take 10 or 15 minutes, and you will know it is working when small animals and birds start moving and calling near you. It is amazing what will you hear and see with a bit of stillness and patience. Is that what you can use as a baseline for the no danger woods? What you see and hear when you are on the move is cautious or even frightened woods. Reading the woods is another skill that only comes through experience. Better get that squirrel rifle out again. There are some rules of thumb, however, that can get you started. Number 1. Crows, ravens, and blue jays are troublemakers. These noisy birds love nothing better than to announce the coming of any creature that is trying to stay stealthy. They also enjoy perching above any critter that is trying to hide, squawking their brains out. Jays have elevated this to an art form, and they have messed up more than one hunt for me. But they also told me when something was